Yeah, welcome to today's class. Today we want to look at while loop. Now, in the last class, we did introduction to loops, right? And I told you that there are three major keywords in C that are used to control or to govern the loop cycle. And one of that is for loop, while loop, and the do while loops. And then we have nested loops. So today we are going to expand on this while loop. So, what is a while loop? A while loop is a control flow statement that is used to execute a block of code repeatedly until a condition is false or as long as that condition remains true. So what we are going to look at here is the syntax of a while loop. So we can say while, then you have expression or condition. You have expression, and then you have this, and then you have a block of statement, right? And then, so this is the syntax. You continue to tell this expression. As long as this expression is true, this block of code will continue to operate. But if this expression becomes false, then this ceases to operate. So it's like saying in a family, there is a particular event that keeps reoccurring in a family. Now, that means there is a condition. So if that condition is true, that event will repeat itself. So if you want to solve that problem, all you simply need to do is find that condition and make the condition false, right? That is the meaning of a while loop. So what is the flow chart for this? You have something like this. Then you have this. Then you have this. Then you have this. So meaning you are putting something like this, this, this. Now, if the condition is false, nothing will happen. But if the condition is true, so you are looking at the expression inside here or condition. Now, this is the block of code, which is what? The statement. This S. Now, if the condition is true, you are going to test it first. If the condition is true, then it will execute this block of code. If the condition is false, then nothing is going to happen. So a while loop is known as an entry verified loop. So it's at the gate. It tests the condition at the gate first before the block of code will execute. So that is what this while loop is. Now let's write a simple program to demonstrate this. Now I'm just simply going to write what I wrote in the last class. So completely I'll write include stdio.h, which is the header file. Now int main, my main function. Inside it, I will declare a variable a in the integer realm, int a, and I will assign 1 to it. What I want to produce is I want to write 1 to 100 on the screen. So this is my reality that I want the loop to manifest. So it means that this loop will have 100, 100 iteration, 100 iteration. That is what this loop is going to have. But I want to test the condition in order for it to produce this 100, 1 to 100 on the screen. So I've declared a variable a. So I've created a messenger in the integer realm. And then I'm going to send this messenger to the physical realm. So this messenger is going to present 1 to 100 in the physical realm. But how is that going to happen? So I will come here and I will say while, then I will test my condition. A less than or equals to 100. Go in and say print f a percentage d, then a. And then here, increment A, another statement. Then I will end here. Then if I want, I can also now say print F, the value of A is A. Then I will say return 0. Then this, I will close it here. All right. So this is my program. Now, how does this program work? This program is going to print 1 to 100 on the screen. Because of this, it's going to print it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 100. That is what it's going to print out. Then it will print out the value of A, which is the whole of this, is what A will be as at then will be what? 101. So how is that going to work? First, it will come here, it will create a variable, and it will assign a 1 to that variable in the integer realm. Then it will come to this while. So this is the governing body for that loop cycle. It's going to test a condition. If A is less than or equals to 100, go in and print out A. This is a placeholder, a formal specifier, telling you that that integer value that you are going, the binary value you are going to see in the memory, you have to go to the integer realm to interpret it. And that will be what? The address of A. When you go to the address of A, the value that you will see there in binary form, go to the integer realm to interpret it. So that will be what? 1. Then it will come to this next statement. This means increment. So it will increment A by 1. So A was originally 1. So it will increase it by 1. That will be 1 plus 1. That will be 2. So it will come back here and test the condition again. 2 is less than 100. That is true. So it will go in and it will print out 2 on the screen. So it will print out A. It will print out like that up to 100. Then when it now comes in and increment this A to 101, it will come back here and test 101 less than or equals to 100. That is no longer true. So it is false. It will come out. So it will come out to this place. This statement is outside of this while block of code. So the moment this while statement becomes false, it will come here and print out the value of A is. Now at that point, the address of A is holding a value 101, which is what we saw here. So it's going to print out 101 on the screen. That is what this program is. So the reality that you are seeing is based on the identity. Now the first identity was what? 1. So the first iteration printed out 1. Now inside the loop, you have entered the loop, so you remain inside the loop until the condition is false. So inside this loop, A has changed to 2. So you are now having a dynamic identity. As long as that identity is changing, the reality carries that identity. So the universe is not looking at your confession. The universe is responding to your identity. So what you are seeing as a manifestation is not your confession, but your identity. So you can be confessing something, whereas your identity is different from what you are confessing. What the reality will present is the identity, not what you are confessing. So that is what we are looking at with this loop. That what you are going to see on the screen will be the reality of the identity, meaning that variable, what that variable is holding, is what the program is going to print out on the screen. That's why you say it is garbage in, garbage out. So a loop, instead of me writing a repeated if statement, if this, if this, if this 100 times, I will just simply use a loop. Because if I'm to write if statement repeatedly, I'll write it 100 times, and this board can never be enough. So, but with this shorthand, I can print out 1 to 100 on the screen. So you can see that The condition is what is causing this event to repeat itself. So if I don't want this to happen, then I can change it. So that is where I can bring in a break statement. So I'm going to teach you in the class of break how I can bring in break to stop this. Maybe at a particular point, I can stop it. So the event has taken place 2 times. I don't want it to happen again. I will introduce a break statement to skip that loop. So even though this loop is written, I can insert a break statement into it and say once it is this number of times, then don't let it happen again. You understand? So let's go to code blocks. Let me demonstrate this program for you to see. Don't forget to like and do not forget to subscribe if you have not done so. Also follow me on my Facebook page. Let's go to code block. All right, so this is our code block, and as our custom, I've written the program so that it will not be too long. So as you can see, I have included my stdio.h, then my main function. Then inside the main function, I've declared a variable integer in the integer realm, a variable a, and I've assigned 1 to it. Then I have my while keyword, which I'm using for the while loop. So I'm testing the condition a less than or equals to 100. If that is true, go in and then print out a, then the value of a. Then increment a and then repeat the loop. So once this becomes false, it will come out and then print the value of a is this, then to return to the operating system. So let's execute this program and see what the output will be. You see? Now, if you scroll up, you are going to see it from the beginning. So you can see the value of a is 1, a is 2, a is 3, like that, on up till, see, printing out the value 100. Now, it now tested the value when it was 101. So that became false. And then it will print out the value of a is 101. So that is the program that this program that you just see demonstrated on the screen. So that was what we did in the class. So you can see how you use a while loop. If I was to use if statement to run this, you will now see that I will have to write the if a less than or equals to 100. I will have to write it 100 times. But with this loop, the system automatically repeats it, and you can see how fast it launches it on the screen. So this is what I have to show you in this class. So we will see in the next class. Bye-bye.